The framers of the Constitution were careful students of history. They warned us against the dangers of would-be monarchs, fake populists, and charismatic demagogues. They knew that the most dangerous threat to our country might come from within, in the form of a corrupt executive who put his private interests above the interests of the nation. President Trump put himself before country. President Trump put himself before country. The evidence shows that Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, has put himself before his country. Let me be clear. Every fact alleged by the whistleblower has been substantiated by multiple witnesses, each of whom has been questioned extensively by Democrats and Republicans alike. The allegations also match up with the President's own words, as released by the White House, words that he still says were perfect.
You know, there have been famous moments in impeachment. There have been famous moments in impeachment as we've gone forward. There are famous lines from Nixon like, what did the President know and when did he know it? From the Clinton impeachment, there was, I did not have sex with that woman. What would be known about this one is probably, where's the impeachable offense? Why are we here? This is all about, as I said last week, a clock and a calendar.
The record in the Democrats' impeachment inquiry does not show that President Trump abused the power of his office or obstructed Congress. To impeach a president who 63 million people voted for over 8 lines in a call transcript is baloney. The call summary reflects absolutely no pressure or conditionality. President Zelensky vocalized no concerns with the subject matters discussed. And there is no indication of bribery, extortion, or other illegal conduct on the call.
And when faced with the opening of an official impeachment inquiry into his conduct, President Trump launched an unprecedented campaign of obstruction of Congress, ordering executive branch agencies and government officials to defy subpoenas for documents and testimony.
We're talking about 8 ambiguous lines in a call transcript.
If you want to talk about the transcript, I want to talk to you about some addition. You said it's 8 lines. Let's look at slide 3, if we may, the reference to Biden. So you see, on the July 25th call on page 4, isn't it the fact that President Trump, in his call with President Zelensky, said that he heard that former Vice President Joe Biden had stopped the prosecution of his son? Is that correct, sir? Yes or no?
It says the other thing. There's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution.
Well, that is correct. He said he stopped the prosecution.
Point of order. He's entitled to answer the question fully, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman
Have you seen that there's a video of the former VP? I think that's what the president's referring to. He was at the Council on Foreign Relations, and it was a little bit of a...
I'm only asking you what it says on the transcript. Is that what it says, sir?
It says the other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son.
And that Biden stopped the prosecution. It says that, correct?
That's what it says here, yes.
And then it also says, it goes on to say, President Trump asked President Zelensky if you can look into it, correct? Is that the words? If you can look into it, correct?
That's what it says. And then he says,
so President Trump, am I right? President Trump was asking Ukrainian President Zelensky to have the Ukrainian officials look into Vice President Joe Biden, correct? Is that correct, yes or no?
I don't think the record supports that.
It doesn't say, can you look into it? President Trump is not asking him to say that?
I don't think it supports that. I think it's ambiguous.
Mr. Goldman, you're an experienced federal prosecutor. I know that firsthand. Is this President Trump asking President Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden?
I don't think there's any other way to read the words on the page than to conclude that.
The Wall Street Journal reported that the committee issued at least 4 subpoenas to Verizon and AT&T for call records. Is that correct?
Are we wondering? Yes, we are, because we only issued subpoenas for call records for people who were involved in the investigation and who had already been subpoenaed by the committee for documents and testimony of their own.
Absolutely wonderful stuff, but answer my question. 4?
Well, I am trying to answer your question.
Was it at least 4?
Yes.
Thank you. Could have saved us a lot of time there. How many subpoenas were issued to AT&T?
I don't know off the top of
Can
my
you check your records? This is important, because we just found out about this over the weekend. We got a massive document dump over the weekend preparing for this hearing in which the chairman admitted and the staff admitted they're not going to be able to read it all anyway. So for all of you writing reports about this, all that massive document dump, we're just simply going on a Schiff report, which Schiff refuses to come testify about.
During Watergate, the famous phrase from Senator Howard Baker was asked, "What did the president know and when did he know it?" Who asked President Zelensky for a favor?
President Trump.
Who personally asked President Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden?
President Trump.
Who stood on the White House lawn and confirmed that he wanted Ukraine to investigate Vice President Biden?
President Trump.
Who stood on that same lawn and said that China should also investigate Vice President Biden?
President Trump.
As to anything that we do not know in this investigation, who has blocked us from knowing it?
President Trump in the White House.
So as it relates to President Trump, is he an incidental player or a central player in this scheme?
President Trump is the central player in this scheme.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.